Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mostly Sci-Fi. My name is Mostly Sci-Fi, and I am your host. Hopefully, this new camera works. I had a Sony, and the battery is just kind of acting up. I have like three different batteries, and it won't I can't even make a video past like 5 minutes. So I don't know what's going on. I'm using another camera, so hopefully it works out or whatever, and hopefully this is the right angle because I'm not even sure because I can't even see myself. So please, first of all, before I get into the topic, I know I pretty much only do a podcast once a week, but I'm gonna start dipping in social commentary, and so this is the stuff that got me in trouble before in my other channel, but it's like I can't help it. You know what I mean? Like I see all these things going on, and I have to have an opinion on it because it's like an itch, you know. So I'm gonna do a little bit of social commentary and or critic or this kind of whatever social critique, and hopefully it doesn't go off the rails or whatever. I'm gonna try to be kind of reserved in my opinion because I know the algorithm. If you lean a certain way, and you start speaking certain things, then you're done. Your channel is done. So that's why it's very important that you guys, excuse me, subscribe to the channel because I've noticed that a lot of my viewers and the people that are listening, there's only 12.5% are subscribed. And I have 2,500 subscribers. So that's only like what? You know, it's like 200 and something or 300 people out of 2,500 subscribers. So I'm hoping that people that are not subscribed and you're listening, please subscribe because it's very important that you give somebody like me a voice. And I'm going to tell you why it's important that you give somebody like me a voice. Anyway, so before we move on, I do have a request that you check out Alien Revival because I'm doing this basically every like once a week. I'm putting out the comic book that just came out. Okay, it's called Alien Revival. I'm trying to find a playlist because yeah, see, I have a playlist here, and so if you look on a playlist here, you're gonna find here Alien Revival. I'm about to put one out. I think tomorrow afternoon if I can get all the sound bites in and everything because the sound bite is the most important and it's the most difficult. I already did all the audio, you know, when I'm speaking and the narration and all that stuff. So I need you to support the channel. I'm a very small channel. It's hard to compete with the big boys. And so I know I have a following. I can tell that I got people that listen and stuff. And so if you're listening and you're not subscribed, do me a favor and do that. You know, it doesn't take a lot of effort. And when you hear something like this one, give it a like. Okay? So let's get to the topic at hand. And the topic at hand is woke mob slams Tim Burton's smash hit Netflix Addams Family reboot Wednesday for casting black actors as bullies and owner of pilgrim-themed amusement park. So before I even start reading it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it and then I'm going to give you my opinion of what I feel about this and then like a little small lecture on that. But before I even do that, I want to tell you that the moment I turned on Wednesday, like within the 5 seconds, I know it was good. Okay? My daughter, how did I know it was good? Because it was made for family. It was made for me and it was made for my children to watch. Okay? So how do I know that? Because my daughter was quiet for the whole 59 minutes of the first episode. She didn't say anything. She had her eyes and ears glued to the TV, which is very different from the other TV shows that these companies claim, like Disney, they claim that it's not made for people like me. Okay? So if it's not made for people like me who basically were fans of these type of franchises that you're destroying, who are they made for? And they claim that it's made for like our children or the children or whatever. And I know for a fact that it's not made for children, because my daughter doesn't watch Star Trek Lower Decks. Right? She doesn't watch any of that stuff. She don't care about any of these types of TV shows that I grew up with, that they're just kind of bastardizing and destroying. Right? So because I'm trying to get her into things that I was into when I was young, right? And one of them was Adam's Family, and she just got it because Tim Burton knows how to get, Edward Scissorhands. You can have a kid there and watch it, and you can watch it yourself. Adam's Family Values, Adam's Family, the first two, very good. Edward Scissorhands, very good. The Corpse Bride, very good. Batman Returns, and I think he did Batman too, very good, right? So the things that he does, he has children in mind, I think sometimes, and from what I see or the things I'm reading is that this is the most watched ever television show. It's the most watched television show of all time on Netflix. It has surpassed Stranger Things. It has gone way past Stranger Things. And so you know that Tim Burton recently had I think he had a contract with Disney. He just left. He was like, nah, I don't want to do y'all because y'all gone woke, I guess. And so he's with Netflix and he's doing what he wants because I think he did like 4 episodes out of the 8, right? But it's his style. You can tell it's his style. It's influence. The influence is his style. And it's just good. My eyes were glued to it. 59 minutes. I think it was a bit too long. I think you should have made it into 40 minutes instead of 59. But it's good. And also they pay homage to the old folk, to the people back in the days. Well, not like Raul Julia, but Christina Ricci, right? Because she was the old Wednesday back in the days. So they pay homage to her and put her in it and everything. And I thought that was really good. You got Catherine Zeta-Jones playing Morticia. She's doing very well. You got The Thing. You got Lurch. And I'm like, yo, I'm liking this. It's really good, right? And there's no woke junk into it. The first villain was a black woman. And so Twitter started getting all crazy because the villain is a black woman. And I'm going to do a whole lecture on that today. So you're going to hear that. But let me read this first. I probably don't even have to read this. I only have to read like this part, like this kind of thing. And then I'll give it to you. Because you don't really have to read all of this because it's basically everything is said right here. So it says, woke mob slams Tim Burton's smash hit. Because it is a smash hit. Oh, I really hate the Daily Mail. This is the worst paper, I tell you, because they got so much advertisement. It can't even move. You can't even move the anything on here because of all the advertisements. But woke mob slams Tim Burton smash hit Netflix Addams Family reboot Wednesday for casting black actors as bullies and owner of pilgrim-themed amusement park. So, some social media users branded Tim Burton's hit Netflix series Wednesday as racist for casting black actors as bullies. The show features black actors Joy Sunday as mean girl Bianca Barclay. It's real funny that I see Hollywood like TV shows, they always do that. Like the name is similar to the title of the show. If you ever see, like I always can spot it, where you will have the name of something, right? The name of a movie, and then all the actors inside of it, the name of the actress or actor will be similar to the name of the movie. Will have some kind of semblance. It's weird. It's weird. I find it, but maybe I'm crazy. But anyway, Joy Sunday, because her name is Joy Sunday, and it's called Wednesday. So that's why I brought that up. So as Mean Girl, Bianca Barclay, and Iman Marson as bully Lucas Walker, the son of a pro-pilgrim theme park owner. Okay, so it has already officially become Netflix's most popular show ever screened. Burton's agent dismissed the claims, which stemmed from the director's previous rejection of forcing diversity on sets. Thank you very much. Thank you. We need to prop him up, okay? And then fans noted the show ultimately stars 3 white people as the lead villains. Okay, so 3 white people are the, but in America, everything's about race. I just came from China. Like, they don't really deal with race that much. They don't know how to deal with it because they're homogenous. And so I'm less sensitive to the nuances of race when I came back to the United States because I spent like 20 years in China. And I'm not saying China was all roses and everything. All I'm saying is you didn't have to deal with race in the way that you dealt with it here. Like, if somebody called you some kind of name or crazy stuff, like blacks, this and all that stuff, there's no one you could run to. You just had to deal with it on your own. Like, the government wasn't doing anything. There was no institution to do anything about it. You just had to find a way to deal with it on your own. And after I found out how to deal with it on my own, and then kind of took myself out of the victimhood, which I was very well accustomed to when I left America to go to China, it did a lot for me. So when I'm back here in America and all you hear about is everything is about equity and race. And as a black person, I see it because before I was like, I saw this fishbowl as America, and then I'm on the outside. And I know which direction you have to go. You have to get yourself out of this like victimhood mentality. But you have certain forces that pimp this kind of victimhood out, and that's how they get money. And that's how votes are gotten. And so we are in this perpetual state of victimhood. And it's bad. It's really bad. And so here you have a black woman who is so that's Wednesday. I thought that this is perfect casting. She's very good. And I think she's Hispanic, okay? Because her name is like Gomez or something, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Gomez. Jenna Ortega, right? So she did a wonderful job. Is she as good as Christina Ricci? I'm not sure. Christina Ricci is the original Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Why are you dressed like that?
Like what?
Like you're going to a funeral. Why are you dressed like somebody died?
Wait.
Oh, Wednesday's at that very special age when a girl has only one thing on her mind. Boys.
Homicide.
I'll buy a cup if you buy a box of my delicious Girl Scout cookies. Do we have a deal?
Are they made from real Girl Scouts?
You can't change that. But she's doing a phenomenal job. Okay. And so she's the evil person, which the first scene, I'm not going to give you any kind of I'm not going to talk about what transpired. But anyway, she's one of the villains. And I thought she did an excellent job. I only wanted to pay attention to her ability as an actress, not whether she's black or white or whatever. She did a good job. Okay, she's doing an excellent job. That's all I want to talk about, right? So you got pilgrims. I guess this is a black pilgrim, like because Wednesday beats the hell out of all the pilgrims. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't even say that. But you see a black pilgrim. People get pissed off about that, right? I don't find anything wrong with that. you know. But here you got people. Tim Burton casts black people finally and makes them pilgrim villains. Y'all can't tell me that man isn't unsufferable and racist as hell in real life. So there we go. We got people talk about racist. Don't get me wrong. I love Jenna Ortega and that she's playing Wednesday. But one thing I hate about this show is that why did they make all the black people in this show terrible people? And this is like bull feces because all the people in this show are terrible people. They're pretty much all bad guys. Okay, so you know it's kind of crazy. So why is the black girl in Wednesday school an aggressive bully though? Tim Burton is a known racist. No surprise there. Was excited for the Wednesday Addams show until I found out Tim Burton directed it. We can't just have nice things. Racists always have to stick their grubby little hands in everything. So they call him a racist. This is complete bull feces. I don't see any racism involved. And this is why I'm telling you why it's important to have voices like my own. Because my voice is not elevated. Like if you look at YouTube, like you could check out YouTube. You got Creator Class of 2003. They all preach like the same type of thing. You will not have like a black conservative voice that has something to say about whatever's going on the other side. Okay, you won't have black libertarian voices. It will always be black democratic or black liberal voices speaking for everybody else. And I'm telling you that there's many of us that are not on that side. That we do not think in this way. We just want people to butt out of the business and let us live our lives. Okay, so I got things that I wanted to say about this, about Wednesday. Because I thought me and my daughter watched it. She's half black, half Chinese. Okay? She loved it. She don't care about race or anything. It's whether you like it or not. It was made for family entertainment. A lot of these shows today are not made for that. Okay? They're made to preach to you, to try to get you to change to the other side, to try to change your mind. Wednesday wasn't like that. It just gave me a good story. So I got some things I want to say. So one thing they talk about is about black women being a villain. And so you have people here that are we call this Black Twitter. And, Black Twitter, you will have Black Twitter and then you will have some white folks who are very liberal who claim to speak for us, but they don't because I'm just you do not speak for me, but their voices are elevated. My voices are lower, are pushed down. Okay. So you will have people like this that either they're going to be kind of Caucasian liberal people, very liberal college, these kind of college people or whatever. And then you have black folks some black folks who just see the victimhood in everything. And they just they just nitpick everything. And so they're never happy. You see them everywhere. You see them on Twitter. You see them on dating profiles. You go to Plenty of Fish. You're going to see these type of people just always complaining, always unhappy, right, about everything. And everything is about race. You know what I mean? So one thing I found is the hypocrisy to say that black women villains are no good, but you give a pass to genocide music. And what I call genocide music is the drill movement in Chicago, where you just have just a whole bunch of just negative, super negative, where you got black men speaking about killing black men. And they're hit songs, they're hit music, hit songs, everyone's okay with it, right? It's not a problem. There's no talk about racism because, who owns the masters of those songs? It's certainly not a black person that owns the masters. Let's not even see, if we go down a rabbit hole, you go down a rabbit hole. So I call it Ijobasa. And so Ijiobasa, which means 1984, and I would never say the full name of it. This by a certain author, and I would never say the full name because I don't want to get banned from this YouTube channel. So what I will tell you is because I'm going to have to use code words in this thing. So when I talk about certain things, I will say some things in Chinese because I can't speak Chinese. So I will say some things in Chinese because it can get past the censors. So Ijiobasa is, 1984. And so that's what you have right now is like Ijiobasa, like a culture of Ijiobasa. Okay. But anyway, you have the genocide music that's being played. And listen, I also like do music and I talk about these things and sometimes I let it slip and then my music gets violent or the words in my music get violent. And that's why I say that the only people that the only entity that can fix what we have in the black community are the individuals themselves. It's not a government or some kind of social contagion like Twitter that's going to fix the problems in the black community. The problems of the black community are due to individualistic type of things. Okay? So that means I have to stop using the N-word in my music, right? Even though I still use it, but I don't use it as much, and I'm very mindful of it. And the topics in which I choose when I do my music, right? And how I present myself to the audience that is listening to my music. This is on an individual level, right? We don't need government or social contagions trying to tell us what to think, but that's what it is now, right? What's the best music for black music now? It's genocide music. It's all about like, I'm gonna kill you, you black Negro, and it's mostly black men on black men. It's not really aimed at black women, okay? So black culture is basically a matriarchal ascension, okay? It is not patriarchal, which means the man runs a household. Most of the time, it's the women that run the household, and this is by design. The women run the household because you cannot have a strong black man in any role. He has to be emasculated. You have to take the masculinity from him because some powers somewhere are afraid of that. Look at the LM, if you know what I'm talking about. Beta, Lama, Mu. If you know what I mean, Beta, Lama, Mu. So if you look at these types of things, you will see who started these type of movements. It wasn't a black man that started these type of movements. It was black women that started these movements because they are less threatening, right? And so, I was born into people that neglected me, and then I was put in the system, and I never had a father. So that's what they always wanted. Right now, I got my child here, and my wife is all the way in China. They won't let her come over. They're waiting so long to do this. Right? They detest black families being put together. You never see it on TV. Black families together. In the 1960s, that's what it was. It was black families were married at a higher percentage than white families. This is like, 1950, sorry. 1950, 1940s. And then something happened where they had to tear this all apart because it was a threat, right? And so I think that they think that black men are a threat. So black men can be villains. It's not a problem. Say, for instance, Netflix's Bushmaster, which was that was with Luke Cage. Luke Cage, excellent TV show. Not taken away from that, but no one was complaining when Bushmaster was the villain, right? And then you had another one where it's Black Panther, right? And Black Panther, you had Killmonger, right? And so Killmonger, what's his name? His whole name. I couldn't find his whole name, but Killmonger was the villain. He's a black man. And that wasn't a problem, right? Black man as a villain is not a problem. Black woman as a villain is a problem. Case in point, you have a movie called The Woman King, which history is all put out of order because those people were basically slave masters. They would gather up all the slaves and then sell them to white folks. But they changed these people to heroes, right? Because you cannot have a evil black woman. And I think that what's the problem with having an evil black woman? Don't pay attention to race. If you're a good actor, then what's the problem? And so they get angry when you put black women as evil, right? But then when you race swap and you talk about like these kinds of what was it? I think it's Macbeth. I'm not sure if it's Macbeth or Henry VIII. Yeah, Henry VIII, where Anne Boleyn was they changed her to black. So that's okay. Right? Let's pay attention to her acting skills. You know, it's all about the acting. It's not about that she's black. Why are you paying attention that she's black, right? And then when you make a black woman evil in a TV show, it's like, see, she's black. But I'm like, why pay attention to her color? Just pay attention to her acting skills. And that's all I saw when I saw this thing. When I saw Wednesday, all I saw was a great actress who was playing a great villain. And what's the problem with that? Why do you have to bring race into it? Right? There's the hypocrisy in these type of things. So, like today I was at church. So I went to church. I'm a, oh gosh. I am a, I'm a Catholic by nature, but I'm going to a, oh geez. How can I forget the name? Because I've been going there for like so long. Geez. I can't remember the name of it. Of the type of church. It's like, it's close to Catholicism, but it's not. They don't worship the Pope. It's not evangelical. It's, oh, sorry. It's Presbyterians. You know what I'm saying? It's a Presbyterian church. So it's Presbyterian. I went to a Presbyterian church today. It was a very nice service. I go every Sunday. And a lady was coming to talk to me. And she's like, where's your wife? And I'm like, well, my wife is not here. Because they ask every week, like, where's your wife? Like, and I'm like, yeah, my wife is in China with my son. And I'm like, sometimes I think that they want black families to be single parented. And I told her, and she was a white woman. And she was like, I don't know, but when I was in Chicago. She was like some kind of director or something in Chicago. And she was like, when she was in this place called Cabrini Green in Chicago. And she was like, they had this program where everyone in this project area was in this project was black and they were female. And they wouldn't allow the black men to come inside this place. And so it felt like it was intentionally breaking apart the black family because we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know why are they doing this. And we I asked the question, like, why do you think they're doing this? And she's like, I don't know, but I remember back in those days, there was a program and they wouldn't allow black men to be in this program with the black woman. The black woman had to be single. And she had to have, and then they would automatically grant her the child. And that's the same thing I went through, where in the Bronx, because I was born in Harlem, in the Bronx, and that's what they did. They just separate you from your father. And my mother, my adopted mother, told me to hate my father. And it was just, after you tell a person that you hate them so much, they're not going to come back. And that she wanted the money, because it was these social programs. And so I think it's a concerted effort by the United States government to break up black families, to emasculate the black men because they are afraid, even though we're only 13% of the population. And then they pretend through virtue signaling like they're helping us by overrepresenting black people in the media, because we're only 13%, but we're like we're in 40% of all things. Okay. Theoretically, we should be only 13% because we are only 13% of the population. You tell that to people that call me racist or a Uncle Tom. So, there was this program or whatever, and we kind of talked about it. But what I'm saying, at the end of the day, like, you need people like me, and that's why I'm asking you to subscribe, because this is an ideological war that's going on right now. It's an ideological war, and the only voices that are being heard are the voices that don't matter. Okay? There are real people out here that are saying things, and we are not being heard. Maybe because, like, you have some Caucasians who there's a line, and they're tired of, like, all this black and white thing, and they see a black person talking, they automatically think, I don't want to hear none of this crap, but you should hear it, because we are the ones that, if you give us the time, we're going to change this around. I have friends who kind of speak the same thing. They got YouTube channels, and they're Caucasian, and they got a lot of subscribers, right? Because it's like, it's white, believe what white people say, and it's like, yeah, we're all in solidarity. But it can't work like that. You got to have people like me in the fold. Because if you don't have a good argument. Because when you argue, you'll only have one side, and that's your side. But there's so many people like me that are doing these things, that are speaking up and say, listen, this doesn't represent us. Like, I don't care if this girl is black or white, if she's a villain, doesn't matter to me. It's okay. And it kind of looks like that they're making the black people there the werewolves or something like that. I'm not sure. But I'm okay with that. Like, what's the problem with that? Like, for me, it's realism. Because when I went to school in high school, like, my biggest bullies were not white folks; they were black folks. Like, for me, that's realism. That's realism. The bullies in my school that were bullying me, in White Plains High School, they were not white people. White people were not bullying me. It was black people that were bullying me. It was black people that telling me I wasn't nothing. I'm not trying to push black people down. All I'm saying is, listen, I'm giving you reality here, and that why can't a black woman be a villain? Why is it okay for a black man to be a villain, but not a black woman? And I'm not watching Black Panther because Black Panther's a man. For me, he's a man. He already died. Peace to Boseman, and that's it for me. He's gone, and he cannot be replaced unless you find another male Black Panther. I'm not watching female Black Panthers take down 200-pound people. Okay, it's just doesn't get me, So at the end of the day, you need to have people like me that, because we give relevance to the argument, because you have people like me that say, listen, man, this is not the voice of all black folks. And I'm telling you, there's so many people like me. So many people think the same. Well, a lot of them are afraid, or a lot of them don't want to deal with it, right? Because of the backlash, because of, things that could happen to them because of the names that be called. Me, I'm not afraid of nothing. I'll do it. I'll go through it. So just, like and subscribe and represent. This is mostly sci-fi. Mostly.
Flag. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Shame on you. How dare y'all say I can't do no intro? Yeah. Shame on you. Flag. Yeah. Somebody shame on you. I ain't got shit. Yo. I'm the one-man army A-song. I never been taken out. I keep MCs looking out. I drop signs like Cosby dropping babies, enough to make a nigga go crazy. In the G building, taking all types of medicines. Your ass thought you were better than A-son. I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper emotion. Enough to make you break you, shake your asses. I create rhymes good as a tasty cake. Makes this style I'm masking in. Ninjas got your headaches. What? You need aspirin? This type of pain you couldn't even do with mine or freak around and get sprayed with Lysol in your face like a can of mace, baby. Is it burning? Well, freaking now you're learning how. I don't even like your mother freaking profile. Give me my freaking shit. Bow. Now seen and heard, no one knows. You forget. Ninjas be quiet as kept. Now you know nothing. Before you knew a whole blood clot lot. Your ass don't wanna get shot. A lot of MCs came to my showdown and watch me put your freaking ass go down. As you can go below zero. Without a doubt, I never been taken out by enough who couldn't figure. But enough who couldn't figure. But enough who couldn't figure how to pull a freaking gun trigger. I should get the freak out of here. Ninjas wanna get too close to the utmost, but I got stacks that attack any whack host. Introducing yo, fuck that ninja's name. My hip hop dropped on your head like rain, and when it rains it pours, cause my rhymes hardcore. That's why I give you more of the raw talent that I got will rock the spot. MCs I'll be burning hot. Whoa, let me like slow up with the flow. If I move too quick, oh, you just don't know. I'm homicidal when you enter the target. Ninja wanna act up like a pig, try to hog so I take your ass out quick. The mics I've had in my ninja, you can suck my dick. If you wanna step to my mother freaking wreck, yo, blah, 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 blown to death. You got shot cause you knock. Who's there? Another mother freaking hard rock. Slacking on your mackin' cause roll's what you lack. You wanna react? Bring it on back. Shame on you when you step through to the old dirty bastard. Shame on